Hello everybody, welcome to today's review of the new FIFINE SC8. Now the SC8 is a brand new mixer from FIFINE, and if you remember, I did a video on its predecessor, the SC3. And the SC3 was a really solid, straightforward entry-level mixer. It let you bring outside audio into your computer, add some fun voice effects. For the $50 price, it was hard to beat. But the $70 SC8 on paper, in my opinion, takes things up a notch. FIFINE has added features that put it closer to what you'd expect from higher-end options like the Go XLR, Beacon, or Elgato Wavelink. You get better routing, more control, and what they call day-to-day upgrades for usability. Now, I'll let you guys be the judge by breaking down features, doing some live tests, and also comparing the SC8 with the SC3 so you can decide which one fits your setup the best. Now, to be transparent, as always, FIFINE did send me this mixer for review, but I was not paid for this review, and I get to say anything that I want about it. So you're getting my honest opinion, the good and the bad. Out of the box, the SC8 comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable. It also has a USB-A adapter on the end, and out of all of the companies that I've done reviews for, and I've reviewed their products, FIFINE is like the only one to do this, which is a big plus. The SC8 also comes with a 3.5mm aux cable. For the build quality, it is plastic, but it does feel solid. The buttons don't feel the most premium, like let's say like a Rodecaster, but they definitely don't feel cheap by any means. Looking top down, instead of the SC3's faders, you now have hybrid knobs with press to mute. That change to me felt like the right way to go because the faders on the SC3 weren't the best. These definitely feel higher quality. Now the centerpiece is that large game chat balance wheel, which we will go over. You'll also notice 4 custom sound pads, buttons for mic monitoring, 48-volt phantom power, 7.1 surround, and EQ presets. On the back side, the SC8 has the same XLR combo input and 3.5mm jacks as the SC3, but it does add something that the SC3 never had, which is optical in. That is a big deal if you want clean console or TV audio for your setup. Now let's go over the core features of the SC8. The first one being the game chat dial. This is the SC8's new feature that really upgrades the user experience, in my opinion. On the SC3, you'd essentially just adjust faders to juggle analog inputs like a guitar or a mic. But on the SC8, one dial can instantly shift volume between 2 digital inputs. We'll go over how to set this up. But that made me very, very happy to hear that FIFINE added this feature. It was one of the big cons that I had with the SC3, so it's nice to hear that they're listening to the audience. Then we go to the mic preamps. Both of these mixers offer about 50 dB of gain and phantom power, but the SC8 now supports 24-bit capture instead of 16-bit, which gives your recordings more headroom and detail. So you may remember last time on the SC3, the onboard recordings, they didn't sound great.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3.
And now with this upgrade, that problem is fixed. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Now there are other upgrades like the headphone jack quality, the addition of 7.1 surround sound, and the updated EQ settings, but instead of just me talking about it, let's actually dive in and test it. So as you can see, this is the SC8, and I'm going to turn off the RGB real quick, and you can do that by hitting this button here on the back. If you hold it down, it will actually turn off the RGB. If you turn it back on by holding it down, it'll go back to whatever preset that you had saved. So if you're not a person that likes leaving your RGB on after your computer shuts off, you can hold that down and turn it off. You also have 15 different options to go through, from different colors to different animation presets. I think it's awesome that they actually give you the option to turn everything off, just because if you're not an RGB type of person, you have that option. Let's start off to the left side here with the dials. You can think of it like this. The top row of dials is everything that's going into your headphones, and the bottom row of dials are all of the inputs. So you have your mic input or your aux input if you have like a guitar or something. And then up top, you have the output of your PC into this guy. So everything from your PC going into this, you can turn on and off by hitting this button. And the red indicator light here, I think, is a much better way to quickly visualize and quickly see if you are muted in your headphones or if you're muted to your microphone or whatever's plugged into your aux. Now the mic gain down here is almost a set it and forget it situation. I have my gain set for the SM7B currently, and I'm utilizing OBS to see that my gain is reaching and peaking at about -5, which is about where I want it to be. Now, like I said up here at the top, your output, that's almost a set it and forget it situation as well. It's just how loud you want everything and anything to be in your headphones. And then of course you can always mute it if needed. The real game changer is this game chat dial, which essentially what it does is it makes two different digital outputs inside of your PC, one game and one chat. And you can actually assign different programs to either the game or the chat. And how it works is everything, when this knob is pointing straight up, both the game and the chat are at 100% volume. As you shift this dial, let's say to the game side, this means that the volume of the chat will actually go down while the game will stay at 100%. And if you switch it the other way, it's the exact opposite. So the game will actually go down in volume and the chat will stay at its current volume. I'll show you how to assign this and set it up in a second, but let's quickly go over the rest of the buttons here. You have your mic monitor, which you can turn on and off, and then you are listening to your mic. You have 48 volt phantom power if your microphone needs power. You have 7.1 surround sound, which I have been playing some No Man's Sky with this turned on, and it's actually pretty awesome. I wouldn't use it in like a competitive gaming environment, but when you are exploring or watching a movie, it's definitely awesome. And then you also have your EQ button here. And now these are EQ presets for what you're hearing in your headphones. So they have a game preset, a music preset, and a movie preset. And essentially they just attenuate different frequencies based on the type of frequencies that you're wanting to hear. So if you're playing a video game, you're going to want to hear footsteps and gunshots. And if you're listening to music, it's going to raise the bass up a little bit and give that more airy feeling on the top end. And then for the movies, it's going to try to capitalize on dialogue. Looking at the voice changer, you have auto tune, elder, monster, then you have a megaphone,
you have a baby, female,
male, and then back to auto tune. And then you hold it down to turn off the voice changer. It does have the 4 internal recording pads where you can record sound effects or anything that's coming into your computer. You hold down to start the recording, and then you short press to start the recording, and you can actually short press again while the recording is going to stop it. The max record time is 15 seconds for each one of these, so you have up to a minute of sound effects that you can record internally on this and not have to take away from any hardware processing power from your computer. The one downside that I have found with these buttons is that it does take a second for the recording to start. Test 1, 2. To start, test 1, 2. And it actually starts recording a little bit before the light actually turns on. But something that is worth noting is that these did get upgraded from 16-bit audio to 24-bit audio for all of the recordings. So that was one of my big cons for the SC3, that every recording that you recorded on it just sounded not as good as the actual sound. But now when you record sound effects, you'll get much closer to that original sound. There is also something that's worth noting. If you go to FIFINE microphone and you look up the SC8 and you just go to the product page, what I have noticed is that I'm seeing some software that isn't public yet that they are teasing in some of these product photos. And if you scroll all the way down here to the bottom, there is a piece of this puzzle that has not been unveiled yet, which does look very similar to a Elgato Wavelength software or a GoXLR software, which sounds pretty awesome because what it looks like is that you will be able to use your SC8 with this software that will come out. That means that if you buy this $70 mixer right now, you actually will be getting a upgrade, I guess you could say, fairly soon. Something I wanted to show off real quick is one, how to set this up inside of OBS, and second, how to attach things to either game or chat. If you go down to the bottom right here and right click on your sound icon and go into Open Volume Mixer, this is going to show you in System, Sound, then Volume Mixer. You're going to see inside of Output Device, you're going to see FIFINE SC8 Game, and then you're also going to see FIFINE SC8 Chat. For the default output device, I put that as the game, and of course the input device is going to be the SC8 microphone. Below here are all the apps that are currently potentially playing audio in your computer. If you hit a drop down on this guy, you can actually change the output device to either the chat or the game, and this will save even after this program closes down and then it opens back up. And then whatever game you have open or want to set up for the SC8, you're going to have to open up that game, come into the System, Sound, Volume Mixer, and then choose where you want that output device to go. For me, what I like to do is I like to put Google Chrome and Discord inside of the chat. and then of course my game inside of the game. Then whenever you change your game chat dial on the SC8, you'll hear in your headphones a difference between the volume. Essentially, Google Chrome will get turned down while the game stays at the same level, and or Discord will turn down while the game stays at the same level, or vice versa. Now inside of OBS, let's actually set up our FIFINE SC8 mixer to show in the audio mixer section. If you go down and hit this plus menu on the sources and then go to audio output capture, I'm going to name this O2 SC8 chat, and then hit OK. For the device, you're going to hit the drop down on this guy and choose the FIFINE SC8 chat. Now, anything in the sound mixer that you have told to go to the chat will actually show up inside of O2 SC8 chat. Do the same process for the game, and as you can see, we now have our chat mic, our chat, and our game set up. Now, one of the cons that I have noticed with the SC8 chat and game is that the dial on the SC8 is only changing what is going to your headphones. It's not actually changing what goes into OBS. So if you end up turning chat all the way down and you just have it on the game inside of OBS, nothing will change. Now, I'm not sure what the new software will unveil for this specific problem. It's cool that FIFINE is listening to their audience to give the users more customizability in their headphones, but what I would have loved to have seen is that the chat actually turns all the way down as the dial turns the chat down, and same with the game. Now let's talk about the pros and the cons of this mixer. First, for the pros, I have 10 of them. The game chat balance dial is amazing. The optical input lets you bring in high fidelity audio into the SC8. The 24-bit capture instead of 16 for anything that you record for your sound bites, that is such a game changer, and it will actually make people want to utilize recording things and having the soundboard. Something that no one's really going to talk about is the stronger headphone amp, which just gives more clarity to your headphones as you're listening through this. So footsteps and even your own voice and your friend's voice coming through Discord, I mean, everything is just going to sound a tiny bit better. The push to mute hybrid knobs, in my opinion, are just quicker control, and they're just better than the SC3's faders. And it also has LED lights to indicate when you are muted and when you're not muted. The 7.1 surround sound, while it won't help in competitive gaming, it will add a new experience for open world games or movies. The LED sound indicators are much better and much more reliable than the SC3's. The real-time monitoring is always a plus to me, and if you have the option to turn it on and off, that's all the better. The SC3 did have this as well, but it's still worth noting. The cross-platform plug and play, it works with Mac, Windows, PS5, Switch, Android, iOS. I mean, you name it, it just works with it. And also the affordable price point at $65 to $80, depending on when you find it on Amazon. It undercuts the Go XLR, even the Go XLR Mini, the Beacon, the Elgato Wavelink, by a very wide margin. Now let's talk about the cons. The first one is not being dual PC friendly. Now I said the exact same thing about the SC3 because it isn't dual PC friendly. You can make it work if you want, but you will be losing something, whether the alerts on your streaming PC or your Discord is going to be hearing your gameplay. Like something's got to give, but that's one of the cons that I have for this. I will say the exact same thing that I said in the SC3 video, that this mixer right here is not the target audience for somebody that has two PCs and are able to stream with two PCs. If you can stream with two PCs, you're probably going to be better off just getting something that isn't $80. Maybe picking yourself up either the Beacon or the Wavelink, or I mean, even the Rodecaster, you can make work with a dual PC setup even more, and it fits the overall budget. You're not bottlenecking yourself, if you get what I'm saying. The next one is monitor only mute. The output knobs mutes your headphones, not what the stream actually hears. The aux overrides the optical, so plugging both in cancels one of them. You cannot blend them. There is no USB-C mic support. It only works for XLR and 3.5mm mics. USB mics cannot be routed through it. The voice effects are preset only, so it's fun, but there is no customization to it. The build quality is entry level. The buttons need a firm press. The knobs aren't as premium as the pricier gear, but that's just what you're going to get in this price range. So where does that leave us for the SC3 versus the SC8? The SC3 is still a good budget pick. If you want faders, fun effects, and a simple way to get an XLR mic onto your stream for the lowest price, it works, but the SC8 is simply more capable. The chat mix dial alone makes it feel like a more professional tool. The optical input opens the door for PS5 and TV setups. The headphone amp solves the monitoring issues, and the 24-bit capture future-proofs your recording. For me, the SC3 feels like FIFINE's entry-level try, and the SC8 feels more closer to the real deal. As you can see, I was a little bit harder on the SC8 than I was the SC3 because you are spending more money on this. But the new features and everything that they've added, I think that this is a good pick for $20 more. But this is where you decide the one that you'd want on your desk if you stream regularly or play on a console or just want more control without breaking the bank. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of each one. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those in the Discord or down in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.